Now y'all know I like some King of the Hill.
Be hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, man, talking about that dang old cuts and collars, man. Like when they come over to clean that pool, man, start going.
Quit it.
But what truck might actually share that name? So if you don't know by now, we're going to be talking about why the 2023 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition might be better than your Soccer Dash Jeep Wrangler with the 5.7 liter Hemi. And keep in mind, the Bronco has nothing compared to that in terms of horsepower ratings. But we're going to be talking about why this means so much to the people as far as its classiness and style, and it brings back a much 60s vibe. So if you haven't done so, I want you to click that goddamn subscribe button so you can get all notifications in the channel, and I want y'all to turn up the temperature, because it's about to get heated up in here, bro.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What?
Right after I mukbang them shawarma. So we're just gonna take a look at a clip on my iPad here again from Ratie's Rides. Shout out to Ratie's Rides on YouTube. You can go check them out in the description. But whew, Jeep Wranglers fans, RIP, bro. It's about to get heat up in here. Like I said, we're gonna turn up the temperature. Let's check it out.
Even more, but you know what? Ford is going to keep pumping them out, and one thing that they want to make sure they do is also make some very special models for those that want something a little bit different. The Bronco's been around since 1966. We talked about the design, and Ford has really done a great job with recreating that special look and feel of the original Broncos. But now with this Heritage Edition, they actually brought a lot of appointments to kind of blend it in to that Bronco from the past, but yet you're still driving a new vehicle. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this race red Bronco Heritage Edition, find out what's unique, and see if this is the Bronco you should be buying over all the other trims and additions. Let's check it out. Right off the bat, the color. Usually I'm not a big fan of race red on an SUV or bigger vehicle. It's working on this, and I'll show you why. Up front, you're getting that same great look of the Bronco, but you'll notice the white grille from one side to the other, blending it in to 1966.
That man knows his stuff. Alright, so I'm not gonna bore you like he already did with the exterior and all that, because you already seen the exterior, bro. So this is what you really want to see, the interior.
It's sort of like being in a DeLorean, but not really. You know, if you want to go back in time, you can get your DeLorean with a flux capacitor. That's what Ford wanted you to do without having to go get a DeLorean and all that stuff. They're trying to take you back in time, but have a lot of the new technology that we kind of learned to love in many different ways. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, how much is this? So basically, it's just going to be an additional charge on top of a trim. So basically, this one, you're looking right around $55,000 the way that this is spec'd. Let me know how you feel about the pricing. We're going to show you what the Heritage brings to the table.
That's funny because on a familiar website, it says $33,000. So what are you saying, Ratie? So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this isn't your average Bronco. I mean, the Ford Bronco, this right here is the much 60s edition. And it really brings back a much different vibe from what your grandparents might remember probably. But now we're going to check out this YouTube channel called The Fast Show Lane. And he's going to basically walk us through what the Jeep Wrangler has to option and what it has to offer. So let's check this out right now.
Let's talk about those roof configurations because there are a bunch of different options.
Yeah, full soft tops, full hard tops. There's also kind of a hybrid top that does a little bit of both. And they're also priced very differently.
Now, pretty much across the board, the Wrangler is going to come standard with a soft top configuration, and that's going to have a fabric canvas on the roof, and then you've got plastic windows for the rear side windows and the back window. And what do you think of the soft top, Case? What are some of the advantages?
I mean, the nice thing is that it's easy to take off. It's also pretty classic, and these days, the soft top is sealed surprisingly well. So I know you did a number of road trips with your two-door Jeep that you sold recently. That had the soft top, and how was the wind noise?
It was really pretty acceptable, actually. Even at highway speeds, it's not too loud. And the great thing is, I drove my Jeep year-round, and even in the winter, it's not too cold because Jeeps have the most
heater.
Incredible heaters of any car. So very livable with the soft top. Now, a couple of disadvantages when you go with the soft top: security.
Yeah, it's easy to cut into.
Yep, I mean, compared to glass and plastic,
You
right?
could break into it with scissors.
Yeah, a sharp knife is probably gonna gonna penetrate that material. Other disadvantage of the soft top is it's harder to get items into the trunk because
Yeah.
you kind of have to unclip the sides and
True.
then fold it over to get stuff into the back of the soft top Wrangler. Now, going up to the hard top, depending on configuration, is going to cost you right around $1,700. On the Jeep, it's a 3-piece hard top. So what that means,
Wait a minute. Say what? Did you see that, guys? He just literally put out about 53 grand, almost the same price as Ratie rated the Ford Bronco for some reason, but we can get into that in a second. And just for $17,000, bro, or I'm sorry, just for a soft top, it costs 17 grand, and you can get a whole 60s trim for the Bronco for that's the price of that for you getting for the Avalon or something like that. I mean, that's crazy to me, man. That's just crazy. So now we're gonna take a look at the specs. Since the Jeep Wrangler doesn't really have that much to offer as far as styling, as you can see right here. I mean, it's kind of old school, to be honest. But the Ford Bronco, it brought back that old school vibe than what it was than just a few years ago, unlike the Jeep Wrangler. Now, Car and Driver claims that right here, it says it's the most sought after and wanted off-roader since the Jeep Wrangler. And some SUVs to compare with is the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade, the Jeep Cherokee L, and the regular Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, what's new for 2023, you may ask? Well, Car and Driver states that it's basically the same engine, the same everything, but if you want the most power, you can just ditch the 60s trim and you can opt for the Ford Bronco Raptor, which has the same 4-cylinder but updated cams, board, and stroke cylinder. Oh man, just everything. Now, but in terms of performance, you see, that's where things get tricky. This thing does not compete with the Jeep Wrangler in terms of performance. This thing will beat in the drag line, beat in the off-road line, and beat in the snow line if you were to race with those. So we're talking 470 horsepower from the standard model, and that's still with the V8 from the Jeep Wrangler, and that's the 5.7 liter V8 Hemi. Same engine you can find in your mama's Durango. I'm just kidding, bro. But the most powerful version of the Bronco they have right now is the 330 horsepower V6. So, do you really want to take a chance with that?
Nope. Nope.
This things will get very heated, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to turn up the temperature about 100 now, because the well-known 2.3 liter EcoBoost Ford engine that's in all Fords at this point, except for the upgraded Raptor and the V6 of the Broncos, it has field head gasket failure, bubbling radiator and coolant reservoir, engine overheating, and oh my gosh, I can go on and on, bro. While the Jeep Wrangler just has a broken PCM failure over the last years. Now, as we all know, our Hemi fans out there, including me, we all know that people sometimes, they basically claim Hemis to have, like, you hear the knocking noise up in the heads. Well, that's because you don't change your oil, bro. Change your oil. You can go look at my older reels that I did of the Josh Challenger Hemi jailbreak, or where I cover some of the problems. Y'all can see that right there, bro. Change your goddamn oil. So the moral of the story is, if y'all already don't know by now, if y'all don't care about liability and want to see a head gasket pop out your engine every 70,000 miles, then you can opt for the 60s Bronco Edition. Because honestly, it's just not that much reliable than the Jeep Wrangler. But the Jeep Wrangler lacks style. So if you don't care about style and you just want premium reliability and plus that V8 power,
Power, baby. More power, baby. More power.
then you can just opt for the Jeep Wrangler and you can still take your kid's soccer practice every Sunday, like you've been doing. But sometimes it's better to look good than be reliable. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But click that subscribe button, man, so you can get all notifications. Until next time.